I'm using this mic. Frankly, it's stupid, but I have stupid ideas all the time, so you should be used to it by now, right? So, sorry if it's too loud or too quiet. I don't know. So we're gonna start the cleaning process. And so I talked earlier about having this space for one of my like kind of mobile shelving unit thingies. And so I need to clean out the space, which is pretty hectic and chaotic. So I'm gonna sit down on the ground, go through what I need to go through, and try to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do because I'm not good at cleaning, I'm not good at organization, I'm not good at time management. So this should be great. What could possibly go wrong? Am I right? Don't answer that. So I feel stupid with this thing. It's stupid. It was a stupid idea. Okay. So please just don't notice my body at all. Just disregard that it exists, and we're gonna do great things. So I'm gonna be walking like all over the place. You're gonna see parts of my body which I don't like to show off, but that's just the name of the game when you're a cleaning machine. Lean, clean machine. Okay, so I'm gonna really try not to trip over the laptop cord because that will surely result in a lot of chaos. I know it's really dark in here, but I usually have my ring light thing hooked up to my computer, but it attaches to a table, and I can't really do that. I could, but I don't want to do that. I'm working on limited spoons. I gotta utilize my time as well as I can. So I need to clean this. So I'm just gonna start like one by one, trying to move things. I know this might seem obvious, but to me, I gotta brain through it. It's a very difficult task, okay? I have under the sea stuck in my head. Under the sea. Under the sea. Okay, so this is a light bulb that I was gonna use as a projector to make a painting for my wife, but she ended up not wanting a painting. So that is what it is. This is really cool. I love this. I know I don't usually wear white, but it is good for showing off this collar piece. This was something I did, I don't know, like a year or two ago. But the neck hole is a little large for my. Hey, Winter. The neck hole is a little large for my, personal taste. But if you're wearing a lot of darker colors, it doesn't matter as much. But just the spiderweb collar, I love it. It's one of my favies. I have a lot of favies. Um, and then I have this Sally scarf that I use the Jewel Tones yarn from Red Heart Super Saver, and then I did a heart with a pin in it. I wanted it to look like a pin cushion because this was like voodoo doll and cozy, so I didn't really know how else to do this. I know she's not a voodoo doll, but you get what you get, okay, people? So I think those are all my makes in the spot. Let me. That was my kilt that I'm working on, but I haven't currently had time to work on it. So let me go put these in my makes box, and then I will be right back. Just blink a lot and imagine that I am the Flash. Okie dokie, now we are back. So I have a little trash bag going, and I'm just gonna start tossing some extra stuff that I have around. So I initially made this coffin shape like holder that I was gonna put on my desk that would hold like my current hook, maybe some stitch markers, maybe some snippies. But the thing is, because of how I made it, because I just freehanded it, it's a little limp and around the edges, and it slides off of my desk super easily. I know this could probably be fixed by like putting some like anti-slip or even like hot glue on it, but because it just doesn't really show its shape, it just looks like a random black piece of fabric, and it's just not worth it for me to frog. It's been on the floor for quite a while, so it's got quite a bit of dog and cat hair and yarn and string, and I don't even know what is in here. It's not worth it for me to keep, so I'm just gonna toss that. Here's a frills box that's been crushed and sufficiently destroyed, so I'm gonna just toss that. So here's the weird thing. So I got like several notifications from my doctor's office that I had an appointment at 10:30, and so I waited about 10 minutes for her to call me, which is how she usually communicates with me. And she didn't. So I called the office just to make sure that like, to see if she was running behind or like what was going on. Turns out there wasn't an appointment, so I don't really know where that came from. Um, but uh, but yeah, so that was kind of weird. But I just used that time to package up my orders. I got 3 orders out the door today. I'm hoping that I can get at least one out the door tomorrow. I'm gonna skip order because one has like a bit of a priority. So I really want to make sure that that person gets what they want when they want it. So I have a spot where I'm keeping a lot of my yarn tags, and my idea is to like kind of laminate them maybe with like tape or something, and then make like a dress or something. I don't know, out of it. I don't know. We're gonna do something. A ghost appointment, exactly. I'm like, I showed up, but no one else did. I'm talking to myself. So let's see. So here is some makeup, which does not belong here. But this is like water liner from Makeup Revolution, and it's half black, half white, which I'm super stoked about using, even though water-based makeup sometimes is iffy on the face, right? Especially around the eyes, where your eyes tend to water. Sorry, for some reason it's not showing up in the big chat. It's just showing up in Scott an appointment and didn't write it down, so I had to go over there, and I wasn't on her schedule. Yeah, I know. It's just so annoying, right? So, um, usually I like to try to keep like yarn scraps and stuff like that for like stuffing for things and whatnot. But right now I'm just trying to clean, and I turn into a little bit of a hoarder when I try to clean, where I'm like, well, what if I need this? What if I need that? Whatever. And so for me, it's really hard to clean because I have a really hard time in like letting things go. This is my pattern book. I haven't used this in God knows how long. But I have patterns in here for crochet, for knit, mostly for crochet. Um, for I don't know if they still do it because I don't go to Michael's that often, but like Michael's and AC Moore. Here's some from Hobby Lobby, which I guess I just went to like rip off some patterns and then just fucking do my own thing with it. But these are from a while ago. But I just have a bunch of different like free patterns, and then I've got some that I paid for that I printed out that I could have a physical copy of, which honestly is really nice because to me it's a lot easier to go with it, and then I don't forget that I have the pattern. But right now it's not a great method, so if you have any way of organizing your patterns, please let me know, because to me, like, I can buy something, kind of forget I bought it, and then I'll never make it, which is stupid because I bought the pattern. But, whatever. So, I have some clothing over here. So, I bought a shirt off of Temu when I was getting ready for my fundraiser. It was like, you can win like up to $300 in like cash. So, I thought it would be prudent because I needed a new machine new knitting machine. So I thought it would make sense to order knitting machines myself, make sure it was authentic, and then if we got to that level, I could uh, order it directly to someone else. So I got this shirt, which is, I don't know if you can tell, it's a button up. It's a Halloween button up. It has like cats, witches, ghosts, pumpkins, Grim Reaper, owls. Like, it's so cool. Haunted house. I love it so much. I haven't worn it. It's a very cheap, gross feeling fabric. It kind of gives me the ick, if I'm being honest, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so I have some like empty bags. It looks like I order from like Hobie and like all of these places all the time. I promise you that's not the truth, but I order from them enough to have a shit ton of stuff. What shirt is this? It says Old Navy. Doesn't have anything on it. It's my Beetlejuice shirt, and I just have it lying on the ground. I don't understand. I don't understand. Why am I like this? Okay, so I'm just gonna try to like throw away stuff and like focus on that for right now. Here's a yarn needle. Can never get enough of those. It's plastic. Sometimes those are optimal. I was gonna make a bouquet of flowers for Mel, but I only had Halloween colors that I could remember in my thing when I was in treatment. So I started making flowers, but I hate the color combinations. This one was kind of like inspired by a magnolia. I'll show you. It's kind of crumpled up from being on the floor, but like it has these like little thingies in there. And then this is supposed to be lavender. I put it on a pipe cleaner. Terrible. It doesn't hold the weight at all. So, probably a dowel rod is going to be a little bit better for that. But I want to keep these for pattern making in colors that I actually like. This is a small green flower that I made, and I put a little pipe cleaner in it to give it a little bit of color. So here's some Caron Simply Soft. So here's what I'm thinking about my Simply Soft moment right now. So I have a crate. I don't know if you can see it with how this is angled right now, but I have a crate full of Caron Simply Soft, which is great for a lot of reasons. There's a lot of colors of Simply Soft, but I've really stopped buying it. It's not a bad yarn, but I just don't like vibe with it as much. I really use it a lot when I started crocheting, and I have kind of fallen out of that. It comes in so many colors. One of my big tips with Simply Soft is that they lowered the size of the skein, and they kept the price the same. I just feel like, give me like 50 cents off or something. I don't know. So I really didn't like that. And to me, it's a little bit harder to crochet. It's very slippery, especially on my like metal hooks. I don't like it. So I got this huge thing of all Simply Soft and Simply Soft alternatives. And I think I might sell this yarn on the marketplace. I don't want to get rid of this crate because I love storage, and storage is expensive. But like, I have so many colors of Simply Soft and like Eversoft. Like, I might keep some of the fun colors, but I don't think I need like all of the colors. What sucks is that, because of the color selection, it's nice to dig into every once in a while. But I use it so seldomly that I don't really enjoy it anymore. So I'm thinking I might just sell that yarn just to kind of get it out of the way, and then I'll have more available storage. So that's what I'm hoping. Or what I'm thinking. But I did use Simply Soft very recently to complete my rainbow baby blanket that I did for my my wife's coworker, and it was fine. It wasn't a bad experience, but I just like I don't ever gravitate towards it. I don't use it. I feel like someone else could use it. I'm like, I don't know, like how much should I price this for? Like I mean, it's a pretty sizable amount. I've got some duplicates in there, but a lot of range of colors. And I just like don't really know what to do with it. So like I'm thinking like, I don't know, like $50. I mean, if you tried to buy all these colors of Simply Softs, it would be way more than that. But like, I don't know. Like, a lot of them are like completely full balls. So I'm gonna put this somewhere else just because I'm gonna think about selling that. Okay, be right back. Wait, let me see what you said. I always struggle with Simply Soft texture. Yeah, it's like it's so weird, and sometimes it feels kind of slimy. Grosses me out. Wow, that looks so different already. um, let's see what we have here. This is a charger for something that I have that I don't quite remember. Maybe my earphones, which I cannot find. And then I have this really cute, like, little trolls bag, and like, I bought this at a convention, and like, what sold me is they're like, oh, you can fit like a skein of yarn and your hook, and like this would be like your little travel thing. And I was like, I'm sold. But like, not many of my skeins fit in here because I tend to buy like oversized because they're more affordable that way. So like, I mean, it's still a really fun bag to have if I'm bringing like a lot of hooks or something. It's there's I think like batting in it, so it's cushioned, so it'll keep your hooks safe. It's really nice. I unfortunately don't have the name of the seller, but like let me just like get open your business. Hey Lydia, welcome in. So this is the bag. It's like neon. It has trolls on it. Hey Cammy, welcome in. And then like the little zipper pull. So the zipper is like rainbow, and the zipper pull is a little troll. It's so cute, and it's kind of an odd shape. But the cool thing about it is that you can open it up, and because the bottom is um, square, it'll stand up, which is really cool. I really like it. I think it's a really ingenious design. There's a little loop so you could hook it on something if you wanted to. I'm not sure ever where to put this. So I'll put it over there and then we'll figure it out later. So I have some old flip-flops that I don't use anymore that are falling apart, so we're just gonna toss that in the trash. Yeah, I just have like a bunch of junk that's fallen off of my table, and I don't really know what to do with a lot of it. I'm so bad at organization. It is a very overwhelming experience for me. I don't know if anyone else experiences this who has ADHD or is neurodivergent or is just like bad at organizing. Um, sorry, for some reason I can't see the like. It's just not very big. I wonder if I can full screen this bitch. Sorry, I'm trying to like see a little better so I don't have to be all up in like, you know, but I can't see that well. I don't know how to make it bigger. Yeah, okay, this is as good as it gets. Sorry. So here is some Red Heart Super Saver in the color of fucking Christmas or whatever, mistletoe. I was like, always like, I'm gonna make something Christmas themed, but I'm gonna make it like dirty or gross or whatever. And then I just have had this yarn and it's been like under my table. I forget about it all the time. So let me put it with my Red Heart. Stay, stay. Ah, fell into my dog's bed. Why do things happen to me like that? Okay. So, okay. Have you ever noticed that I say okay a fucking lot? It's something that my brain does when I'm trying to like reset and like, okay, next step, next step, next step. I have to be like, okay. It's like a pause button for me. Here's an eraser for drawing. Here's okay. So I was like, why is there something in an Amazon bag under my desk? But it's just the package that is in there for my body wash. So. Okay. Okay. Some ribbon. I have some notepad that was actually my grandpa's before he passed. Here is an eyelash case with no eyelashes in it. Here are nail things with no nails in them. Here is a whip. So I was working on this project when I was knitting for my father-in-law, and I just have never finished. And because so it's made with Scarfy, and Scarfy does not frog well, and so I don't know what hook size it is or anything. This is the color like green and black or whatever it's called. So this is I'm trying to get some good light, but like literally nothing is happening. But it's not just like a regular knit stitch. It's like I think it's called a star stitch. But I don't know how to restart doing it, and I don't know how to like get things back on the thing. And then also, I'm so slow. This took so long to make it this long. My room. If someone else wants to come, their business, I'm all for it. Yeah. So I know you weren't here yesterday, Cammy, but I am looking for someone to help me organize my shit. And so what I was thinking about doing is like having like recording a short video, like here's 2 shelves that we're gonna do today. And so I record the video, I explain what yarn is in there, and then the other person like fills out an Excel spreadsheet that just helps me have like a catalog of my yarn, and I'm willing to pay people. It's not much, but it's a little bit. But no one seemed really interested, so I have kind of put that on the back burner. I'm gonna put this in my lips, even though I don't know. So I'm thinking of just like like picking up like a crochet hook and just like crocheting the rest of it and be like, here's like a decorative end or whatever. I don't know. If you have any suggestions on how to fucking switch over from knit to crochet, I am all ears. Okay, so I have some notebooks. There's a lot of dog hair here. This looks moldy from when our AC was leaking water, so I'm just gonna stuff that in there. As much as I love notebooks, I ain't got time for moldy shit in my life. A pen. There's so much shit and it's so random. How do you put random stuff in spots that make sense? So I have scary stories to tell in the dark. I have a tarot coloring book. It's really cool. It's very beautiful, but I hate coloring. I like it enough, but like it hurts my wrists so bad that I have to like stop crocheting for a while, and that makes me miserable. So, so I don't know. I might I don't know. Maybe I'll give this away or something. I don't know. Here's a candy from Hobie. Just gonna put it in my mouth. Who knows how long it's been here or what it's been through. I kind of feel like, hello, Kira, and I'm Shop Lover. If you're not. Oh wait. Okay. So, Kira, I'm sorry. Did you want to help? I didn't gather that from what happened yesterday, so I didn't I didn't I didn't want to like disregard. So the thing is, so here, yeah, if you want to help. Oh, yeah, you're in? Oh, fuck yeah, let's do this shit. Um, this is gross. It tastes like a cough drop. Okay, cool, yeah. My whole life now revolves around crochet and yarn. Yeah, that's kind of me too. Being disabled is just kind of keep myself busy. Okay, Kira, I don't know the best way to reach out to you. Winter said that there's a way to message people on YouTube, but I don't know that way. But if you, let me put my email address in the chat. I don't know if it's gonna pop up because my chat's kind of being weird, but it's like saying that it's not. What the fuck? It says that my channel's not activated. I don't understand what that means. You have Twitter. No, I mean I technically do, but I don't check it. I have Instagram. So if you want to message me on Instagram, my username is ian dot or period is period weird. That's it. I don't know why I can't type in the chat. We'll find a way to connect and we'll make things work. So, thank you so much for offering. I wasn't trying to guilt trip anyone into it. That wasn't my purpose. I have a really terrible memory and sometimes things like, so sorry about that. I feel terrible. I feel so bad. But yes, so thank you so much. And again, I was not trying to guilt trip or like disregard anyone. But yeah, so for this purpose is to clear out the space so that I can put a shelving thing here that I have, like one of the like portable rolly shelf things. And then we'll fucking do something. I don't know. Here's a sewing pattern. Like, I just have all the shit next to and under my desk. It's so dumb. Okay, so that's I don't know what this shit is. Okay, so that's some old Social Security disability shit. I have like, because I've done like multiple challenges, I have like a lot of like little pieces of paper with like random words on it. Let's go through those, shall we? So I have demons. I have spiders. I feel like this is like my horoscope, like a fortune cookie. Tomb. Mummy. Trick or treat. Adam's family. And that is Ellen. Yeah, so what a fun adventure through random words. This is a broken paintbrush. This is a fucking, I don't know, like an old piece of a receipt. There's so much dog hair under here. It's a little ridiculous. So I'm gonna close up this bag while the pin's still closed, and I'm gonna switch over to another bag to complete cleaning under my desk. Because once this is here, I really am gonna have a hard time getting under here. So let me put this away. And then I have all the stuff I dragged out that I want to keep that I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. What do you do with stuff? I don't have a lot of space. Why is my brain like this? Brain and chat are synonymous. I just have HEDS. I have crash days. Is that like hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? I've never seen an H in front of the EDS, so I'm not quite sure. But I know my wife has joint hypermobility, but she doesn't have Ehlers-Danlos. But we know quite a bit about it because in finding out that she didn't have that, but she did have joint hypermobility, we found out a lot about that. So if you have, I'm sorry, I know that you're probably in pain all the time. But that's what I like about like this family that we have here, is that a lot of us are dealing with some kind of disability or thing going on. Let's see. Hey, Leather! Boo! Boo! I love it. That is the way to my heart, is just start speaking in Halloween talk. um, yeah, from what I know about it, I know that it's a very difficult syndrome, but we're all kind of in this together. Where like, no matter what we're dealing with, we're all dealing with something, pretty much. And so, if we really have this community that I love, which is like so loving, supportive, and like helpful, but also very understanding. Like if you're like, hey, I thought I had spoons today, but I don't have spoons, then like no one's gonna like judge you for it, and I really like that because sometimes the spoon meter, I think, is that like I'm at a full like 10 spoons or whatever, and then like I like go live. The minute I press live, it's gone. It's gone. Um, Lydia, I never answered your question. The last time I cleaned my yarn room, so it's like, here's the thing. I clean parts of it at times, but it's just like there are so many components to what I do, and especially because I don't just crochet, I don't just do yarn art. Like I've got like patterns, a section for patterns, a section for fabric, old costumes, like random things, like Mardi Gras beads and stuff like that. And like that makes it even harder to kind of know where to put shit because it's so like my craft range is pretty broad, and that's not like a brag, it's just like a kind of statement. um but because it's so broad, it's really hard to organize. So I do it in pieces. Um and yeah, this is another makeup thing. Oh, my neck just scratched. So one thing, this might be like, I don't know, if you're a compulsive like cracker like me, um, compulsive cracker. But if you compulsively like crack your knuckles and your back and your neck and your whatever, I love cracking my back in the morning. It's like the best thing to like get me in the mood to go. But like since I've had my gallbladder surgery, I can't stretch enough backwards without kind of feeling it in my stitches, and so it's really difficult. I've been like aching to crack my back, but I can't do it just yet. Let's see, peas in a pod. Trying to get some stitching in. Nice. Leather is my new bestie. Love that. I love the family we have here. Just a bunch of like cool ass weirdos. You are my people. Cami said, in my room, I have limited storage space, and my mom wants to get rid of most of my storage space because she is cleaning out her life and wants everyone else to clean out their life. Because she has lots. Yeah, honestly, it's really hard once you get into that mode of like, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna organize, and then you see like other people's messes, and you're like, oh, why do you have messes? But That's not, necessarily the most fair, not to criticize your mom at all, but like, just like the mentality of like, if I do it, other people have to do it. It's really difficult because, and especially when you have ADHD, like I know you do, Tammy. Hope that's okay that I said that. You're pretty open with it, so I hope that's okay. Um, but like the thing is, like the ADHD mind is like, I'll do it when I can, but like otherwise I'm blind to it. Like I don't know if you're like me in that way, but I love notebooks. Why do I love notebooks so much? Does anyone else have like a love of notebooks and just like scribbling stuff down and never looking at it again? um, you know, I just like, so I have time blindness with my ADHD. So like time just passes like super weird for me. It could feel like a lot of time has passed and it's been 5 minutes, or I could feel like like no time has passed and it's been like 8 hours. it it can be that extreme. I know that can be common with a lot of people, so I don't know if you have that as well, but it does make things a lot more difficult, right? When you're trying to be like, a fucking contributing member to society and your relationships and all that stuff. And all of a sudden your brain's like, I'm gonna just turn the switch off and you're just gonna not be able to do anything. Okay, so this was my mood blanket that I started last year. Oh my gosh, there's so much random shit in here. It's like it's making me borderline mad. Like I just have all of this. I made a demon like sundae where they're like little bat demons and put a cherry on top. It's so stupid. I don't know why I do the things that I do. Um, and then here's some yarn that I started using to try to make a pattern. I have sewing needles. I have tabletop organizers. I have this. What is it? A fucking chicken nugget? Oh, maybe. I think I was trying to make a hand, and this is what happened. Oh my gosh, have you ever seen something look so stupid? Oh my gosh, it looks like a chicken nugget. Some scissors in there. Some eyeglass cases. I have so many eyeglass cases, and all of my glasses are like, just lying around. Okay, so here's some embroidery needles. I have some sewing needles in there, like hand sewing. Okay. There's so much. Hey, I'm on, but you can come in. Yeah. I'm trying to clean this space up to be able to put that organizer here. And under this desk is just madness. So I might be having like a slow mental right now about it. Good call. Good call. Did I tell you that like about the Dr. Lee thing? About the Dr. Lee thing? So I got multiple like emails saying like, hey, you have an appointment at 10:30 with Dr. Lee. And then like 10 minutes passed after 10:30 and I was like, she's not calling me. What should I do? So I called the office and they're like, we don't have anything on the books. I just got like this random notification. Yeah, that's true. But it was from Center for Emotional Health. So yeah. But I was like, this is so fucking weird. What did I found? It's the start of my mood blanket that I, clearly haven't made progress on. Oh my gosh, you're such a cute baby. I'm a little overwhelmed being surrounded by. Send me a little picture. Okay, let's see what's going on in the chat. Organized chaos. Okay, let's see. Can I enter full screen. Sorry, I'm literally up in your shit. Okay, so, oh my gosh, Amagurumi hand turkey. Yeah, I can't scroll down. You could be having jawsley that's causing your headaches. Yeah, usually if headaches last a longer time, I don't know if it can be withdrawal, but yeah, I'm no doctor. See, I know that one. Otherwise, I wouldn't have that term. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of things that can go on that can cause headaches. So yeah, but I mean, they're no fun. I am such a pussy when it comes to headaches and like any kind of pain, and I always have been. That's the thing. Like I always have been really sensitive. So like when I transitioned, I was like the idea of a man cold was like so already ingrained in me, and that's how I'm like being trans is not a choice. Like I've literally always had man colds, even when I presented as a female. I'm getting so itchy from the amount of dog hair down here. It's gross. Ew, I don't like this view of my body. I'm very heavy in the chest. I'm getting these suckers cut off at the very end of March. Hopefully they don't cancel again on me, or I might go. I might do something. Anyways, but like I hate this. It's so gross. So if you could just avert your gaze, I would really appreciate that. Taking a quick break. I'm so fucking itchy. So it's probably good that I'm cleaning this out. And I'll get something to get the dog hair out and I'll vacuum underneath. But like, so I have a question for those of you who like to shop, like bargain yarn, off-label yarn, or yarn that doesn't have labels, or just get like yarn that looks pretty, but you don't think about like the weight or like whatever. So I have a bunch of like random yarn that I kind of keep all in one space, and there's no rhyme or reason to how to organize it. So like, I have things from like lace weight, sparkly yarn. I have pom pom yarn. I have like fucking. I have so much random stuff. I don't really know what to do with it. That are all different weights, textures, colors. I, I mean, so if you are like that, what do you do with like that type of yarn? Like for me, I've got stuff that are random textures, colors, whatever. But like my ice yarn is all in one spot, so I know if it's ice yarn, I can. My hubby actually had a DM. He had a very large chest genetic. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, like, what's interesting, I find that, like, people who are like, don't mutilate your body, don't get the surgery, it looks like shit, whatever. Like, all of the surgeries that I plan on getting were made for cisgender men who either had excessive breast tissue or, for some reason they had a complication with their phallus and they needed some help there. Like all of those surgeries were developed for cisgender men. So like, so when they're like, don't mutilate your bodies, it looks gross. First of all, I'm like, whose penis are you looking at? Or like, what are you looking at? That you like, someone was like, don't get a fake penis. It looks so gross. And I'm like, why are you looking at these penises? And this is probably the most like times I've said it. So sorry if you're not into that, but like I just was like why? Like get off my case, dude. Like yeah. So like that's the thing. So one of the things I really want to do this year is start doing drag, but I need to. It's really hard because I want to crochet a lot of my costumes because I just think crochet is such an integral part of me that it's really important for me to be able to like you know like express that part of me. But getting measurements is so hard, and I have no idea. Oh, double mastectomy. Now I understand what DM means. Unfortunately, the world is so accepting, which sucks. Yes, exactly. I'm like, I was like, just get out of my business. I was like, and then he was like, I'm against all surgery. And I was like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of. Like, you're against all surgery. I was like, I'm willing to bet you don't stand outside of, like, before this, I was like, I'm willing to bet you don't stand outside of plastic surgery offices and try to get people from getting, like, breast implants or something like that. And he was like, well, actually, I do. And I'm like, I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Hey, Jen. But people are always meddling stuff that's not their business. But here's the thing, and not everyone has to have this attitude. I will be very clear. If you are in any kind of marginalized community, or you are just living your life and you're doing what makes you happy, you're not hurting other people, then literally, like, what you do is no one else's business. And people can yap all they want about, like, you're, like, pretending that it's about your safety and your choices and all this stuff. But really, like, all they're trying to do is control how you live your life according to how they think life should be lived. But they're not in your shoes. They don't know your experience. And, um, so, like, people can say all the stuff they want. That's why I like trolls, because, like, one of the things I do, like I said, that people don't have to do, is I take it as a moment of, like, potential education for people who, like, let's say they've never knowingly met a trans person, right? And so, like, trans people are everywhere, and, like, some people literally interact with these people every day and don't know it, because that's the person's business to, if they want to be out as trans or queer or whatever. And so I'm like, but I take it as an opportunity to educate people, and if they want to be, like, bigoted or be stuck in their ways, that's their own prerogative. I'm not gonna lose sleep over their, like, cognitive, um, me wanting to make a baby. And so, like, like, just because you haven't, like, finished up orders, like, literally, like, your experience is your own. And even people with the same conditions or the same, like, labels or whatever, like, other trans men have very different experiences than me. And I'm not going to tell them how to live their lives. I'm not going to tell them what surgeries or treatments or anything is right for them, because that is highly, highly, highly personalized. And I will listen and I will talk about it. So all these people come in here, don't have surgery, don't have surgery. Well, first of all, they didn't even know that I planned on having surgery. They just assume I'm trans, I have to have surgery. Not the case. But I take it as an opportunity to educate people and say, hey, people are allowed to choose what they want to do with their body to feel right. And it's really, my belly is aching. Early puppy show experience. Oh, okay. Oh, I hate belly aches. Yeah, I'm like, honestly, if I never have another belly ache in my life, I will convert to some religion. Like, the gallbladder thing, just, I took it all out of me, and literally they took my gallbladder out. But yeah, so, like, if you encounter hate or trolls or whatever on YouTube, on any social media, in person, whatever, like, all of that, like, obviously, like, in person is a different thing, because you want to make sure that you are safe physically and mentally and emotionally. But like, you can take that opportunity to educate people, but you have no obligation to take that time to educate people. That is your choice. I enjoy doing it, so I do it. But if you don't enjoy doing it, or you don't want to do it, or you're tired, you don't have spoons to do it right then, PCOS. Yeah, that, I know, is so freaking hard for people. I haven't had my tea in like 6 weeks, and I'm really afraid of these things coming back. Um, so I know I will have major dysphoria if I start bleeding again. So I'm just really hoping that doesn't happen. Yes, Jen, So I am still technically in recovery from my surgery. I had my surgery, I think, December 29th. Um, and then, so I was I experienced two major gallbladder attacks where like the pain was like so bad. Like the first one was like probably at a 9 out of like a scale from 1 to 10 on the pain scale. And then the second one was at an 8. And I was like, like at first I thought it was my medicine. It's a long story, but like, so I ended up in the hospital, and immediately they were like, they did, they did a CT scan and then they did an ultrasound, because I thought maybe my appendix had burst, but I literally heard from like hip to ribs, like all over my stomach. My back started hurting. It was so bad. And I literally was in so much pain. And, and they took my gallbladder out like instantly. They're like, yep, you're going into surgery today. So like from start to finish, I was in the ER for about 12 hours that day, and they were moving really fast that day. And so like there was just so much. My gallbladder was full of gallstones, and it was clogging up the process. So they took it out. At the end of December. And then I had some surgery complications. So 4 days later, I was back in ER because I was having shortness of breath, hard time breathing. Turns out, after surgery, coming out of surgery, both my lungs partially collapsed. So, like, really, I'm getting through the post surgery issues right now. So if I eat a meal where I'm not kind of being mindful about how fast I'm eating or what I'm eating, I do notice a pretty significant, I mean, it's more like a strong discomfort than pain, where I feel like I kind of got like maybe like punched repeatedly in the gut. And I think that's just because like the breaking down of cholesterol, which is what the gallbladder helps do. So right now, the only issues I've noticed are when I'm not mindful about what I'm eating. And then also, I still have a lot of discomfort around my incisions, which are still healing. Most of the glue has come apart or come off. I have a couple spots where they really loaded up the glue, or the liquid stitches or whatever. But like even the ones where the glue's fallen off, I feel like if I stretch the wrong way, sometimes I feel like I'm like about to rip that area. So those are really I'm dealing with more with post surgery complications right now, but I know I have to change my eating habits to be more comfortable. But yeah, this happened very quickly, very suddenly. It went from um, it went from just like calamity of like mental health issues to like physical health issues, and then within a week I was in the hospital getting my gallbladder removed. So has been it has been intense. It has been intense, but also I feel like sometimes I can't tell if I have phantom pain from like where my body wants my gallbladder to squeeze out excess bile, which is what the gallbladder does. Sometimes I feel like either my body is saying, "Come on, gallbladder, get with the program," and so I have like phantom pain there, or it's my liver, which is like I can't handle the load of like breaking down all this cholesterol, so I'm working in overdrive and it like physically hurts. So really there's just like a lot of discomfort around like eating and stuff like that. So that's what I've noticed so far, but I obviously will keep you all updated. Let's get back to cleaning, shall we? I didn't even know what a gallbladder did before this surgery, so or during the surgery. I was like, what the fuck is a gall? I mean, like, I've heard of a gallbladder, but I literally have never heard of it. I'm very thankful, to be honest. I'm very thankful that even though I had to have, like, literally an organ removed, it is an organ that is not necessary for me to function in my life. I didn't have to go on any transplant lists or anything like that. So I understand that I'm very fortunate in that aspect. Um, where it's kind of a secondary organ that just helps out another organ. So it wasn't like my liver was having trouble or anything. So super thankful for that. But, pros and cons to everything. Okay. So I've got a lot of trash. I've got some labels. And then I found, I kind of knew they were under there, but, so I got these things. They're called practice golf balls. And you can see that they look like mini wiffle balls. These are perfect if you're into kink or you want to start selling kink related items. These are perfect for breathable ball gags. So I've already made a kink set. Doesn't really look like that. That's a doctor's lie. Oh no! Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry to hear that. But yeah, so if you're into kink and you want to make ball gags, they have like multicolor ones, but I like being able to kind of control what I do with them. So I got this white set off of Amazon. So these exist. They're very lightweight. They do fit perfectly in the mouth. I have one, like a tester that I made, and that like I have actually like tried, and it is awesome. Oh my gosh, I love kink related items. I'm a blossoming kinkster. My wife is not, so that's been a little strange. But like, I'm not gonna push her into anything she doesn't want to do because it's a conversation. It's a partnership. So if she's not into it, that's fine. I'm not gonna push her into it. But yeah. So but I'm like really like trying to blossom and like figure out my kinks and stuff like that. And I love like restraints and like stuff like that. I've always loved that. So anyways. I'm far from vanilla, but the one thing I can't do is ball gags. Understandable. I mean, the thing is about kink is it's very personalized in a relationship or a scene or whatever. It's so personal that like I can understand why anyone would not like one item or another. I can totally understand that. So it's a conversation you have with the people that you're with, that you're like, hey, like some people it's the breathing element. They don't like that they can't breathe. That's why one reason why I like the breathable ball gags with the holes in it, because it's you still have airflow through your mouth. You just can't really like talk or anything like that. But you don't have to like ball gags. That's the great thing about it, is like kink is like so broad that you can really like what you like, don't like what you don't like, and boom, bam, bing. Like uh that's too drooly. I don't know. I think the drool's kind of hot, but my wife thinks it's too drooly, so she doesn't like it. And I was like, I don't know. Like for me, when we're in the moment, bodily fluids just don't bother me. Once you're out of the scene, you're like, ew. So here's a pin that I got. And this person had like a bunch of pins, and they had a bunch of like pride snake pins and like animals, and it's super cute. It looks like a little Pokemon to me. But so here's the thing. I like pins. I think they're cool. I also think that like if you have like a jacket and you want to go like real punk rock with it, patches and pins are awesome. But I feel like pins are always falling off of things. I know some people like to display them on a board, but for me, like, if I wanted something like that, I would just like print out a picture for free. Is anyone like that? I still have to get treated for it. Yeah. I'm also planning on getting a hysterectomy, which I'm super stoked about, but also like just the thought of like OB like being in there, it just feels gross to me. But whatever, it's just what it is. Okay, so now I have all this shit pulled out. Literally just like tons and tons and tons of shit. Okay, so I'm gonna put my yarn tags in the space. My wife doesn't have crochet hanging banner for my pins. I've seen those. So cool. I've seen them for like earrings and stuff too. So awesome. But for me, I just kind of like, I don't know. I don't feel like I see the point for me. I don't know. I like, the thing is, as messy and shit as I am, I feel like if I'm gonna organize something, it needs to have function. And pins aren't really like the most functional items. So like I'm like, it's really cool. I want it, but I will never use it. I'm kind of the same way with stickers, honestly. I'm like, when people give me stickers, I'm like, what the fuck do I do with it? So I just like put them all over my body. I don't know. I'm weird. Okay, let me try to get my fucking fat ass up. Okay. Ooh, jeez. Louise, that is a lot of dog hair. I'm trying to get like the garbage. I have a lot of yarn scraps that I just like snip and I like leave for later. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and the um move the fucking thing fucking over here. I gotta organize these cords so I can access them easily. I don't really want them to be on this side of things, but I feel like it'll be really hard to reach if it's over there. I'm gonna just put it over here for right now. And we'll figure it out later. That's a problem for another time. That's for future Ian to deal with. So I'm gonna try to move all of this shit over here. So I'll be right back. I gotta get the shit off the top, which is all my knitting machine stuff. Not all my knitting machine stuff, but my broken ass Centro is on top. So gotta figure out what to do with that. Okay. Okay. This is a mess. This is a mess. Oh god. Oh. Can I quit now? Oh, I need more space. I need more space so I can put more yarn. Oh, good god. I feel like I'm in like labor. Ew, that's gross. Okay. What the fuck is happening? Okay. Okay, we had a wheel in the way. Where there's a wheel, there's a way. Okay. Let's get over here. Boop, 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 boop. I didn't measure this, so I hope it fits. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. I do have my yarn winder on the end of my table, and I think that that'll kind of get in the way of some of the drawers, but we'll fucking deal with that later. Isn't there a partial and a full hysterectomy? One where they take only the uterus, and the other where the ovaries are taken out, but then not true PCOS. I can't answer the last part, but there is a partial hysterectomy, and because your ovaries produce sex hormones, they produce estrogen. They they keep your ovaries in, and then there's the full where they take everything out. I mean, it sounds like that's not the answer to everything. There's a lot that I don't know about, because from what I understand, PCOS is an overproduction of testosterone. If I'm not mistaken, please correct me. I'm only telling what I think I remember about PCOS, but uh, sex hormones don't only come from the ovaries. Um, so I don't know what to do with that information, but that's what I know. But someone with PCOS, it sounds like we have some folks in the chat who have PCOS and they can tell you more. But knowing what I know about hysterectomies, because I'm planning on getting one. Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah. Yeah, I was just answering Leather's question. But yeah, that's why I want to get that. Also, I want to get bottom surgery eventually when I'm less fat. so, yeah, so that's all I was saying is like, here's what I know. Isn't much, but it's something, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put my bird's nest centro on top here just because I don't really have another place for it. Make sure this door opens up easily. Nope. Okay, we're gonna move the handle to be this way. Yeah, I think it might be the pituitary gland, if I'm not mistaken. Fit full history, but too much fragile to get one. Oh, I totally yes, because of the pituitary gland. That's the extent of my knowledge. Yeah. Um, yeah. And the thing is, so this is what I found out in my transition, is that testosterone is a lot more potent of a hormone than, and I don't really know what that means, but it's a more potent uh, hormone than estrogen is. And so if you have like just a little bit too much testosterone, it can really put things out of whack, with facial hair and like cysts on your ovaries and stuff like that. But yeah, so tired of bending over, but I don't know what else to do. I feel stuck. I feel frozen in time. Yes. So, yeah, it definitely affects the change in your body. So, I'm sure it would probably help, but because the testosterone is also created in your brain, in your pituitary gland, that can also change uh, things. So it depends on, I guess, what's producing testosterone. It's probably, I would think, the pituitary instead of the ovaries. Now, the ovaries, one of the reasons why they told me for my transition that hysterectomy, too much estrogen isn't always bad. Thank goodness. There are pros and there are cons about too much estrogen. Um, uh, I mean, typically that involves like weight gain, and that's like kind of like the major thing, um, where your body just can't regulate that. So everything in your body is about balance and homeostasis, keeping things level, keeping things normal. Anytime something goes up or down way too much, shit gets wrecked. So, make sure everything that you can have in balance stays in balance, and whatever. So, okay, so I probably want to do something with all this shit. I don't know what to do. I'm having like this crippling anxiety where I feel literally trapped within this like cage of shit. And like while things are so much cleaner, it's like, okay, well, I took stuff from under my desk and I have a pile over here now that I gotta do stuff with, and then I have a pile on my desk where I gotta do stuff with. So it's a little overwhelming. Let me just sit down and just recenter. Oh my gosh. Thanks for hanging out with me, you all. I really appreciate it. It's just nice to like talk and shit. You know, I feel like I'm like a big proponent of like balancing like the work that needs to go in to do something like this. I'm like just talking to people because it's so easy to get like, for me, I mean, I struggle with so many feelings of like loneliness and stuff because I'm disabled. I have a hard time getting out with my agoraphobia. Love you too, Winter. Um, and so for me, it's like, it's just really important for me when people show up. I mean, I know that's not always the case, and sometimes there's 0 people that show up to like an hour-long thing. Um, and that's okay. But like, this is really like the place where I get the most social interaction. So just you showing up really does mean a lot to me. I really appreciate it. And this is probably a boring video. I don't know. But that's just how it be. I'm so sweaty. So if you know me at all, you know that I do not wear white. It's not a thing. One, it's not flattering. Two, I don't really like it because I like wearing black clothes. Because I'm an elder emo or an elder goth. Kind of depends on the day, the moment. But like, both are in my blood, pretty strong. Um, but like, I don't like wearing light colored clothes. My mother-in-law got me this shirt for Christmas, and she is so cute, and I love her so much. I love my in-laws so much. And it says "chilling with my gnomies," and it's a bunch of gnomes. Um, if you know me, one, I hate the color white in clothing. Two, I don't like gnomes. I think that it's a weird fetishy thing that other people have, and like I don't really. I know I'm doing it because like I'm wearing the shirt because it's clean and I have it. But I was just saying like this is not a normal for me. Um, Also, I have multiple stains on it already. And this is why I don't wear white, because like if you're a sweaty person like me, if you are a dirty like food droppings person like me, like white is not your friend. Also, if you're plus size like me, it doesn't do you a fucking favor in the whole wide world. So anyways, that was my mini rant, just kind of an explanation of why I'm wearing white, why I'm wearing things with gnomes on it, which is right directly in the line of my breast tissue, which I'm not feeling. Crafting hair dyeing shirt. Yeah, I usually dye my hair like butt naked. I promise you, like I wanted to do like hair dye videos, but I'm always naked. So sometimes I'll do things, but I'll have like a cape on, like a hair dressing cape, and so but I'm totally naked underneath there because you can't like pull your shirt off without getting your hair dye on it. But because my mother-in-law gave this to me, I'm trying to give it a chance. Even though I hate the color white, and I fucking hate gnomes. When she gave it to me, she was in like a fit of like laughter. She thought it was so funny, so cute. I've never expressed my distaste for gnomes to her before, because that's a weird random thing to like have a problem with. But like I never expressed this to her, so she has no idea that I don't like gnomes and I don't like white shirts. Um, I mean, I don't wear white, so I mean, she could probably have put that together. But it was a very sentimental, very cute moment. She just had like a giggle fit. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I saw this. I had to get it for you." So, best intentions. So I'm keeping it. I'm not immediately tossing it in the trash. But like, she was having so much fun with it that I was like, I can't be like, this is not the one. This is not the one, Kath. Does anyone else have like not like gnomes? Or if you do like gnomes, like, tell me what you. I'm purple hair. Ooh, that's fun. I was purple for like a minute, but I dyed my hair purple when I did uh, the marathon to raise money for the longest day for Alzheimer's and dementia research in December, I think it was. Um, but purple does not hold in my hair at all unless it's like a red based purple. And then the red really sticks, but the purple, like any blue tones, unless they're like certain blue tones, don't really last in my hair. Um, so purple, I have a really hard time keeping. And so I dyed my hair the night before the charity event. And then within maybe 3 days, the purple had really, really, really faded. And you could start to see peaks of like the yellow tone of my hair because I was yellow before. I don't know. Yeah, honestly, when I had long hair, I did not really know what my natural hair color was. So I totally understand that. I keep it pretty clipped on the side. Sometimes I do color all over, and but like it grows because it's short, it grows out so fast, looks bad a lot faster. Um, So it depends on the specific dye that I'm using. So this right here is actually a mixture of 3 dyes, which I typically don't like to do. I just like to get the color that I want and go with it. But so the green, which is kind of the base, is Ex Mondo by Brad Mondo. He's a celebrity hairstylist. Well, he's a celebrity and he's a hairstylist. I don't think he does like celebrities' hair. Um, but he made this brand. A lot of people really liked it. And the thing about that I found about instructions to do punk rock hair, I punk rock hair all the time. I've been dyeing my hair since I was 12, and I hate like my natural hair color. I have mine until it's crunchy instead of 23 minutes. Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, making more fat wings, love that. Um, so for this one, the base is green, and so I had done it before. I tried to go from bright yellow, which was Pravana Vivids, in neon yellow, which is an amazing dye. It lasts so long. The only problem is it bleeds so much. So when I went to the green, it was just not enough pigment to like punch through the yellow, so it just looked yellow. At certain lights, it would look a little green, but not really. So when I did this dye, I used the Ex Mondo as as the base, and then I added that highlighter yellow from Pravana, and then I wanted to add like, because I wanted to make sure that it showed up green instead of yellow, so I added a little bit of a cobalt blue from, I don't remember the name of it. I don't know where it's available. I have my aesthetics license. And so I can shop it at professional shops like Cosmoprof and Salon Centric. And so I get my stuff there because it's a lot cheaper. I don't go to Sally's typically because I find that the dyes at the professional places are a lot better on average. Ex Mondo I got off of Amazon, but there's also a website. And the thing is, the Ex Mondo was great because it did not bleed a bit, like at all. Um, but it just didn't have the punch that I needed, so that's why I'm like, use Splat. I was a Splat boy for a minute, but Splat is so staining. Because I did red hair for a very, very long time. I just was exclusively red. And I would bounce to orange and then I would come back to red. And so I had that for a long time. And I used splat red one time. It looked like a fucking murder scene. It stained everything so bad, my skin so bad. But it was also really, really good. So, like, I can see the pros and cons of both. Yeah, so at one point, and I think that that threshold is different for everyone. Um, and like the different colors are better. Like the red splat's really good, the pink splat's not great. Like, or it just depends on whatever, right? Um, or like how high you lift your hair, all of this stuff. Wow, that's kind of crazy, actually. Um, so, at some point your hair, so it's like conditioner, right? That's basically what a lot of these semi-permanent dyes are, and direct dyes. They're basically conditioners. So they penetrate your hair follicle. Well, actually, they don't penetrate. Semi doesn't penetrate. It sits on top of your hair like a conditioner. At one point, they stop. It stops dying because your hair is fully saturated. Um, so, I don't think you need to keep it on that long, but if you like to, you're not hurting anything. For me, it's more annoying than anything else. I keep mine on for about an hour. That's me. Every time, so if like, I've dyed my hair like fully yellow before, and then my hair is like almost black, and there is like every time I cut the sides of my hair, it looks like a bumblebee massacre because it's like black and yellow. And I have pictures. It's so funny. Yeah, I find that the best removal of semi-permanent is I like to do a bleach bath. If you want to know how to I do my bleach bath. I have a TikTok on it. Um, but basically, I mean, there's plenty of videos on how to do it. You're still bleaching your hair, but it doesn't do really much lifting at all. So, because a lot of the things like a bleach bath is basically you mix bleach, uh, your developer, like a low level developer, like 20, and then you mix shampoo into it so it will actually lather. If you bleach your hair, you know that bleach does not lather. You can't scrub it in and make sure that it gets everything. You'll still have spots all over your head. So the shampoo helps it lather. And when I tell you that, like, almost instantly that purple came out of my hair, yeah, you can also use a clarifying shampoo that is less damaging to your hair than a bleach bath. So it's like clarifying shampoo, bleach bath, and then bleach. Color removal hair products. I don't know about the splat one, so I won't speak to that one. But if you use like Color Oops or something like that, that actually has a pretty strong developer in it. And so let's say you use it on like let's say I use the color removal all over my head. The color here would be lighter than what I started with. The color would be removed, so I'd be left with just the bleached hair. But then my roots would be fucking orange because it's still bleaching the shit out of your hair. So, if you like the product, use it, but just be cautious about like what's in it because sometimes you're basically just bleaching your hair again. And if you already have light hair because you wanted to get purple, which typically with purple you have to get your hair pretty fucking light, right? So, I don't know how this became like I don't became like a public service announcement. Hair health. I don't know. But just be cautious about what you use. I really like the bleach bath method. It strips my color right out. I like with the purple. Like as soon as I put it on, the purple was gone. Like it was so fast. I didn't need to even keep it on for the full 5 minutes. I just did to make sure there weren't any remnants of purple. Um, so but like just try to keep in mind your hair health because like once you fuck it up, you can't unfuck it up. you know, and that's the thing about hair, is like there's no really like working backwards. If you over bleach your hair, if you over process your hair, um, you can't like mend split ends or like really stretchy, over bleached, over processed hair. You just can't do it. You can put products on it that make it look better, yes, but it doesn't actually heal your hair. You're always gonna have to rely on that product until you cut that fucking dead shit off. So just be careful with your hair. But if you've been dyeing your hair for a long time, you know your hair really well. You know what your hair can take. And so you can just go for it. Yeah. Like a lot of people think that I dye my hair a lot. Like I bleach my hair like all the time. And that's absolutely not true. Like I usually let my regrowth get to about an inch before I only bleach my regrowth. I don't re-bleach this because it doesn't need to get lighter and has a blue tint to it. I've always had to bleach for longer than normal. My hair is in beautiful condition. Like, awesome. You know your hair. You know how to treat it. That's fine. Depending on like your ethnicity, like that changes your hair porosity. Depending on your curl pattern, depending on what you've done to it before, how you take care of it, all of that makes a big, big difference. But yeah, so like what I was trying to say before is like you can have a line of colors, right? And so they have every color of the rainbow, right? And like maybe the blue is fucking awesome. But then you get to the green and the green sucks. So I do tend to mix and match based on the quality because yeah, like a variegated like tonal look. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, for me, it's like I don't bleach my hair that light, and it would seem like I did because of how bright my hair color is, but my hair is not white under here. It's actually very yellow, like just from the bleach process. And I find that it actually the yellow of the base of my hair actually supports like the yellow and the green tones that I put over it. So even as it fades, it has that yellow to support it. Okay, thanks, Kira. Thank you for hanging out. It was really fun. Oh my gosh, my feet are asleep. I hate this. Ooh. Like TMI, but don't you hate when you're on the toilet for like a little while because something went wrong? And your foot falls asleep, and then you try to get up, and you're like, I'm gonna fall and like just face plant on this tile or whatever you have. That has happened to me. Not the face planting part, but the thinking I was gonna face plant part. Mine was yellow too. Okay, so that's interesting because the thing is, yellow and purple are opposites in the color wheel. So it's interesting because your purple had to be super strong to overpower those yellow tones. A pale yellow can sometimes work, but a lot of people have to get their hair to like almost a platinum to get a good purple. But blue, I've noticed, sticks in my hair more than the purple tones, the violet tone. So if I do a purple that I think is gonna last longest, I try to either do something really, really blue based, or I try to do something red based. Hey, baby. I'm not quite done with my coffee. My foot's asleep. um, I gotta finish my coffee, but while that's brewing, I could definitely do that. Do tea? Yes, I do want tea. Oh, the water's ready now. Okay, let me just chug. Ah! Oh gosh. Yeah. So literally, I mean, and like when I dyed my hair red, I would get my hair to an orange level again to support the color that I was doing. I didn't need to lift it to a platinum or anything. I can't even go platinum. My hair doesn't do that. My hair is surprisingly healthy given the curl pattern that I have, but maybe the harvest beyond 50.
Well, I can see before.
I know, right? It's awesome. But pulling all that shit out, I feel like trapped in a cage of like, what the fuck do I do now?
Shower.
Yeah, it was getting real itchy when it was up under there. There's so much fucking dog hair.
Is that true right there? Is that true?
Yeah, there's some really good manic panic guys. Some of them are shit. But I find I miss more with manic panic. Oh, okay, that was like the shortest rain ever. Just calling me. Thank you, baby. Lusty lavender. Ooh, spicy. Okay, what is this number? Are you gonna leave a voicemail? I know I have a 4 p.m. therapy appointment as people. I love that. Lavender is impossible for me to keep in my hair. I'm really actually surprised that you can keep a yellow base and have lusty lavender. My hair, that doesn't work. But it's still fun to like experiment with hair colors, see what works, see what doesn't, like on your particular hair. I love that. Hot, hot, hot.
I will have 2 seconds from the time I ask you.
You okay? I feel like I'm like in the Matrix or something.
We have to give Jelly his next round of
Okay. Can you give me some advice as a clean person? It should be quick.
Okay, because I don't use everyone.
Okay. How do organize lots of crafts and different things when you don't know how to and you have paralysis?
You said that was a quick person?
I guess I just like, I don't know what to do. Like I've got sewing patterns and coloring books and clothing and patterns and like crochet patterns, and I have books and I have whips and I have this bag just has a bunch of random shit in it. I've got projects that are stupid. I probably should toss. I don't know what to do.
That is not as short of a question as I was hoping.
Okay, I thought it was short, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I've never gotten my hair platinum. I've gotten it really light, fairly light blonde. When I did like a half my natural color, which was a dark brown at the time. I'm closer to black now. Um, but then and then I did a half blonde look, and I would say it was like a medium to light blonde, and I had toned it and everything. And it was a cute look, but it was so hard to match. Oh my gosh. So here's a little story. Okay. So I dyed my hair a lot. Obviously, like I said, I've been dyeing it since I was 12. And when I was about 20, I was going to be the maid of honor in my friend's wedding, right? And so many months prior to the wedding, I said, "Hey, I know I dye my hair a lot. Um, do you care what color my hair is before?" Which honestly, I feel like is a nicety that I didn't have to extend, but because I tried to be mindful of that, and I know she was very particular about like the color scheme and things, I I was correct. Uh, I just was trying to be mindful of that And she said, hey, not a problem. Like, I know you like dyeing your hair, so just go for whatever. And so I did the half and half. And I know, right? I'm such a nice person. And so I gave her the option to opt out of me having any hair color I wanted. So I was at the half and half point, and then like literally, like 2 or 3 days before the wedding, she was like, "Hey, like I actually like really care what your hair color is," and so she asked me to go to a natural color, and I was like, "Well, fuck." So this might seem counterintuitive, but it's actually harder to go darker with your hair if you're lighter than to go light, because as much work as bleaching and all that shit is, once you take out the pigment, it's hard to you can't you can't force your hair to all of a sudden take out pigment. So my pretty much my only option was to dye the other half blonde, but because of like just like the nature of my hair, I I I dyed the other half blonde, and yeah, so you can't restore the pigment in the hair. Everything is super superficial. So you can put dark hair dye over blonde hair, and it will look fine for like about 5 minutes. But as you wash your hair, that color will instantly just come out. It comes out so easily, like more even more so than a semi permanent, surprisingly. Let me see if I can find a picture. I'm obviously like presenting female in this picture, so don't judge me on that one. Let me see if I can find one. But you can see like there's two very different tones um, of blonde going on, and so she had like an aunt that came and did everyone's hair, which like for me that was just it was dumb. But like the aunt was a hairdresser, and or I guess is a hairdresser, and was like, "Ooh, you should have let me do your hair," blah blah blah. And I was like, literally, I had no fucking option. I've been doing my hair for so long, but it's really hard to get colors to match when like you've been treating this side of your hair very differently than this side of your hair. It was troublesome. Let's see if I can find it. I hate this picture. Hated the dress. I hated everything about it. Nothing about it was me. She gave us pearl necklaces. I was like my goth ass, like a fucking pearl necklace. I was like, no, no. And even if I try to find it and I do find it, it's just not gonna show up on camera. Like it looked halfway decent, but like my hair was like distinctly different colors. Also, I had bronchitis at the time. So it was literally like I was in so much pain, could barely breathe, and like I had to bleach the shit out of my hair, which obviously took multiple bleach sessions because I'm not like the type of person who like I want to go from like a really dark brown to a blonde in one session. Like I know my hair can't take that. I try to stretch it out as much as I can, but I didn't have time, so I literally had to lift it so fast. It was a nightmare. I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I was like, I gave you an out. I gave you an out. Because it gets to the point, I always have an ombre from top to bottom. That is genius. Yeah, I keep my hair pretty short, so ombres don't really show up. I did have rainbow hair for a while, but that was really just a fuck ton to manage, and I was not happy about that. Every once in a while, especially if I get manic, I just get the urge to shave my head, and I do that. Trying to find a picture. I thought it was more recent that I like rediscovered the picture, but literally cannot find the picture. Just imagine two different blondes on each side of my head. Don't you hate when you're trying to find a picture and you literally uh, cannot find it? Also, so here's the thing. I know I have some newer people in the chat, and I want to make sure that one, like, it'd be cool if you want to be called by your name. I will do my best to call you by your name rather than your little screen name or whatever. So if you want to share your name, you're welcome to do that. Also, if you want to share your pronouns, just so I make sure that I get those right because that is very important to me. I do fuck up sometimes because I'm a human, but you can always correct me. I'll never be mad at that. So if you want to share those things with me, please let me know. My hubby does it for me, but he managed to find this one drop out. Yeah, if I like pretty much, unless I'm in this situation where I'm not doing the back of my head, my wife has to help me because I just can't. And even when I shave the back of my head, my wife has to clean up the edges because I can't fucking do it backwards in a mirror. It just don't work like that. I really want to start like doing a mustache again, because I feel like my mustache hairs are starting. Leather is good, and I am. Oh, GF, like gender fluid. Is that correct? Just want to make sure. Do you so call you whatever? Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Really appreciate that. I want to be very respectful. Um, I am GF female. Sorry, not quite following that. But if you want to let me know, but like I said, it's not on you to educate me on like every aspect. But I just like to try to be respectful. I guess I'm all those old terms, gender female. Oh, okay. So your gender is female. Okay, okay, um, okay. No, that no, it totally makes sense. I just everyone uses abbreviations so differently that I just want to make sure because like some people might be gender fluid, so their identity might change. Um, so yeah, okay, that makes sense. Thank you for clarifying. Appreciate that. I am pissed, annoyed, and infuriated that I cannot find this motherfucking picture. Which again, I would show you, and because my camera's so shitty and my phone's so bright, it literally would not show. But this is bullshit. Bullshit, and I'm pissed about it. But yeah, she was a shitty friend. Yeah, I guess. Nice. Alright. Um, yeah, so she was not a great friend. And that is what it is, and that's part of the reason we're not friends anymore. But and not that, but just other things. But yeah, so oh my gosh, my foot is asleep again. I feel like these shoes are making it worse because they keep my foot in like a certain position. I need to do some of my old dance exercises where I flex and point my toesies. Okay, so what are we going to do? I like this here. I feel like so you can kind of see the mess of blankets and stuff on my chair here. I always have like blankets around me. I my temperature is always kind of like in flux. I think that's part of my thyroid issue, but you can see that that when you view me, you won't be able to see this puppy right here, but I'll be able to see the yarn in here. Flavor that I'm vaping. So I go to like a specialty, I guess, shop for my vape. I don't use like just like uh, flavors that I think everyone has. So this one is called Very Very Confusing, um, and it's just like a bunch of different berries. I tend to keep it either really fruity or I like to go like minty, but not like menthol minty. I do when I smoke cigarettes. I do smoke menthol cigarettes almost exclusively. Oh my gosh, I was in Boston, or just outside of Boston, at a treatment center in like late September and October, and Boston, or just the state of Massachusetts, does not do flavored anything. So if you get a vape, it's literally just like it's just a vape. There's no menthol. There's like no any. It's just like here's a vape. You can get salt vapes, which I've heard they're stronger. In my experience, smoking menthols, I did not notice a difference. But one girl, like, she never vaped, and then she would go. Caramel flavor. That sounds so good, but whenever I smell the caramel flavor, like vape juice, I'm like, ugh. um, but yeah, so you can't get any flavored anything. They don't even sell menthol cigarettes in Massachusetts. Um, I guess like to reduce the appeal to young people to start vaping or smoking. Um, 61. But yeah, so like they didn't even sell menthol cigarettes. So like I was like buying cigarettes there, and like I would be like, please get me menthol, and like literally they can't buy it in the state of Massachusetts. So it was just like, I was like, please. But so I did kind of begin to be able to smoke non-menthol. I mean, I can smoke like the occasional non-menthol, anyways, but that's just not my style. I, I, I grew up on menthol cigarettes. Like for me, like so I went to a school that was kind of like inner city, I guess. I don't know. It was a magnet school, so it was like placed in a area that um, was kind of like noticeably like low income, like primarily like minorities live there, um, and like they pushed so hard for like menthol and like flavor and stuff to that particular group of people. um, if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. It might sound weird if this is a foreign concept to you, but like menthol was like the only thing, right? And it was specifically Newports. And Newports are like one of the worst cigarettes for you. Like, no cigarette's great for you. Like, kids don't smoke, whatever. But like, Newports, like, I've known people who've smoked Newports for like couple of years, just a couple of years, and they start like coughing up black stuff. It's crazy. They're so harsh. If you get used to smoking Newports, everything else just tastes like flavored air to you. So I started on Newports, and then I switched over to, I did Camel menthols for a while, and then I switched over to a cheaper brand just because I was really poor. Um, what was it? Mavericks. I switched over to Mavericks. Did Mavericks for years, and then I went back to so once Camel released the Camel Crushes, they removed the filters from cigarettes. New cigars to deter. They don't have to deal with that now. Wow, that is crazy. Okay, where in Canada are you? I know winter is also in Canada. So welcome. You know, uh, from the Great White North. I am in North Carolina in the States. That's crazy. Cigarillos. Okay, so from here, um, 23 bucks a pack in my own store. Oh my gosh. It would be cheaper just to get cigarettes sent to you. Yeah, Vancouver Island. Okay. In British Columbia. Yeah, I've been to British Columbia before. I think I've actually been to Vancouver. My parents used to take ski trips and stuff like that. Um, we don't do that shit anymore, but like we used to do that. And I think I've been to Vancouver maybe twice. Um, Lovely, gorgeous, you know, 19. That is insane. So they're almost $10 here, but I know the Canadian dollar. I don't know the exchange rate right now, but the Canadian dollar tends to be less valuable, like 1 to 1, than U.S. dollars. But that's fucking insane. When I went to Seattle, when my sister lived in Seattle, and I bought a pack of cigarettes, and this was over 10 years ago. Um, I don't believe I've been to Victoria, if I'm not mistaken. But it's honestly, I was like 10 or 12 or something like that. So I have shit memory. Um, so, but when I went to Seattle, and like I said, this is probably when I was like 16 or so. I'm 32 now, so like literally half my age. Um, and my brother-in-law bought cigarettes. My former brother-in-law bought cigarettes for me. They would be like $16 a pack, and that was 16 years ago. So like, places that don't want you to smoke, they will really try to make you not smoke, but like it doesn't work like that. They just get more money. Okay. I don't recall a very, but those memories are very jumbled in my mind due to a lot of PTSD memory issues. So I don't, like I said, I don't recall taking a ferry, but I'm not quite sure if I'm just being honest. Um, but I love Canada. Very cool, very ahead of the US in a lot of things, gay rights, things like that. Um, Yes, the tax, like yeah, the nicotine tax, the tobacco tax, all of that, very much like it's like I just don't think they know how it works, right? Like they put in some states like they petition to like put like pictures of like diseased like smoker lungs on the packaging and I followed Dr. Mike on like YouTube and yeah, and like I'm in a place where like we produce tobacco, like North Carolina, like I think that might be our highest like producing product. So like it should be the cheapest here because there's not like the thing to um uh like ship and deliver and whatnot. But yeah, and cigarillos, I know like here, cigarillos, I don't know if it's the same, we call it the same thing. Um, but cigarillos here are the paper is tobacco leaves rather than the paper that they use. Um, but like, so I watched Dr. Mike on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot. And he was saying that like there is I forget exactly the term, but like in California, like California is always like gonna be doing the most with like trying to warn people about the dangers of blank 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 blank. And um, so they put signs on things, right? And so one of the things that they do, I guess now, is they have signs on anything that is a potential carcinogen. And like Dr. Mike explained in this interview, I think he did it with Lord DIY and their partner. So I don't. It's like something till 9. I don't know. I've never watched that podcast, but it was a really great podcast. And so like everything's labeled like this is a potential carcinogen, and they act like all carcinogens are, and they classify them. They'll put them in categories with things that are clearly like very different risk factors, but the fact of like if you eat them or ingest them, so he explained it. It was brilliant, but like I didn't know this. um it's kind of like drug classifications with like illicit drugs, where they'll put like weed in the same category as like crack or something, and it's like those are clearly like not equal in like on your body or whatever. Anyways, um, but they post the signs all over the place, and Dr. Mike asked like, what do you do with that information? I like asked the person, because the person had asked, hey, there's all these signs now. What do you think about this as a doctor? He's a licensed family physician in the States. And he was like, well, what do you do when you see a sign? And the person was like, I still order it. And and the Dr. Mike was like, of course. So there is a thing called alarm fatigue or something along those lines, where if you see warnings and things everywhere, you just stop paying attention. And like, you know, um, so he was like, basically like, let's say like I was in a hospital setting, and like there was a code every 5 minutes all the time. I would just turn the code off. I would stop paying attention because I got shit to do. And so like that's basically what's going on with a lot of these warnings and stuff that they're doing. It's like they don't realize that like if you smoke and you see that shit all the time, it's like you just stop paying attention to it. So it's not as effective as they want it to be, because like, literally no one cares. Also, if you smoke, you're likely going to smoke regardless of the price of the cigarettes, and it's just a fact. And I mean, not a fact, but like, it's just kind of like what evidence shows, right? And so you can increase taxes on it all you want, but like people are still going to do it. And like I can see it more for like a Canadian setting because of like the true cost of like universal health care. And yeah, exactly. um, but like because the cost of healthcare is primarily like bundled in from your taxes, um, I can see how that might make sense, that you would have a much higher tax for things. Um, but uh, people in the U.S. have like a super high fear of taxes. It's just going to look a general overall thing, and so people get really mad if a politician is like, yes, I would have to raise taxes for this. That's why one of the reasons why universal health care is so fought about here is because like people hate taxes, but healthcare is very expensive. Um, I was a healthcare actuary, which basically means that I help set premium prices and stuff for different companies when they were laying out their plans. And so, like, the cost of healthcare is outrageous, and everyone knows that. But especially in the U.S., just it's the way that pricing works is just it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Um, but the thing is, like, the taxpayer generally doesn't pay for the healthcare system. Now, one of the things that they do under the like Obamacare is we do have higher taxes due to trying to help support that healthcare marketplace. But I know this is probably stupid. Like you came to watch me organize, and now I'm talking about healthcare and hair and all this stuff. But so taxpayer dollars do go into that, but they've produced things like really narrow networks where like basically you can only see people in your county. So if you had a specialist that was outside of your county, and counties are like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if there's an equivalent to that in Canada, but basically it's like a subsection of your state, right? So we have states just like Canada has provinces, but then you have these smaller subsections. So like North Carolina has 100 counties. And North Carolina is not a big state. Districts. Okay. That makes me think of the Hunger Games. We just watched it. But yeah, so you are very restricted. Then, like I said, North Carolina is not big, and then I mean it's kind of like a medium to small size state, and they break it up into 100 sections, and then you can only go in that one section that you live in. It is so narrow, and then they're also super restrictive about what doctors are in network for them. It's a mess. It I could talk about healthcare all day long and describe to you every single detail, every single flaw that I know of in the healthcare system, which is probably only about a tenth of the ones that are actually in the healthcare system in the U.S. But I won't do that because I've already rambled on quite a bit. I'm sorry. Okay, so I think I'm gonna shift the camera and everything into a different position, my normal crochet position, and then maybe we'll crochet some. We'll switch topics. I'm just gonna keep this shit. Oh no, power's going out. Why? Okay, so let me oh god. Okay, let me I'm gonna turn my camera off, and then I'm gonna move everything, and it will be different. Okay, so camera off. Okay, believe me, I am here. I have Ignition Remix from R. Kelly stuck in my head, which I tend to not be a supporter of his work, but because I think he's kind of a garbage human. And that's not even a kind of, he's definitely a garbage human, but sometimes bad people make good art, and you're like, what do I do with this information? I'm sure if you're watching, you're like, I don't fucking care what your opinion is about. Shit. But anywho, okay, so oh my god, I just dipped my fucking literal boob into hot tea. This is why I don't wear white. It's literally just a fucking wet. I gotta show you this. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, that's so stupid. Oh, I hate my body. Okay, 1 second. Oh my god, I'm just gonna wear this shirt. I don't give a fuck. I have big old man boobs. It's just whatever. Oh my gosh, my boob is wet now. I hate this. Oh my god, I'm gonna rob myself to death. Oh my, it's like dripping. Oh, it's like on my stitches. Oh, sorry, this is a very, I mean, I say I'm a weirdo, and some people are like, you're not a weirdo. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm fucking weird. And, and I'm okay with that. That's the thing. I'm perfectly fine with being a weirdo. But like, and I wear that, I named myself that because I am, and I own it. Um, but yeah, oh my gosh, that was hilarious. I just felt like warmth, and then I was like, "What is happening?" And then I went down and boob it in my teeth. Just like extra seasoning. That's gross. That's gross. Okay, what am I gonna crochet? Okay, you can't see it, but like it's it's so bad. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Defective AI. I love that. Priceless. I know. Hey, Mello, welcome in. I don't know. I was like, I want microphone. I know. As soon as I grabbed this, I was
The
like,
Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
okay. So I had this at the beginning of the video, and I was like, this is stupid. And then the minute I pick it up, I'm like, I gotta talk into it. This is just tad defective though. Oh my gosh, my brain is like on one. It is simply not working. This is stupid. Why do I keep on picking this up and doing it? So I got a pair of these for my wife for like a birthday. I don't know, some thing. And like we're not like, she can sing, but like she doesn't like to sing like in public or anything. And then, but like sometimes we just like are goofing off, having fun. We turn on our Alexa and we, just like jam and sing along and dance along. So I thought it would be really fun to like have these microphones where we could just jam out and like who cares how we sound? We can just have fun with it. Um, since I started taking testosterone, my singing voice is gone to shit. But okay, center. I'm not centered at all. Okay. So I'm gonna start by, so I mentioned this the other day, but um, if my voice goes back to how it used to be, I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be happy. We are gonna have a fit. So I need to keep my low register. Room tour. So I was working in part of the room before, but now I have moved on to dipping my chest into tea accidentally, of course. And then I also am maybe gonna try to clean up my desk a little bit because it's messy. It's tragic, and I bring stuff in. I, so one of the things that is going on is that what's I gonna say? Yeah, it's just so like, so basically, so don't judge me before I finish this statement, but so my wife and I and our pets currently live in my parents' basement, and I know that that makes me a bit of a loser, but and kind of a cliche. But I had to move here once I became severely disabled, and we could not pay our rent anymore. So it's not like I really had a choice in the matter. It just was I became disabled. Shit didn't work out. Okie dokie. Um, so So this is a Dollar Tree. It was $1.25, and it's supposed to be like a paintbrush organizer or something. But I use it to hold a lot of my hooks. The furls don't fit in here, but I do have another method of storing my furls when I get that going. I usually organize these by size, but I do not care. Um, so I so I have been diagnosed with bipolar for um, since I was 15, and among other things, borderline personality disorder, PTSD, whatever. So I've been diagnosed with those things for a long time now, and uh, it was relatively under control. Um, I would have like minor episodes, but I was medicated for most of the time. I did take a brief hiatus from being medicated because of a medical situation. But in 2019, in September of 2019, I got a concussion, and for some reason, it was a very small concussion. Um, but for some reason, uh, that concussion knocked something around in my head where my bipolar went from like being manageable to being totally like disabling, I guess. I don't know. Um, and so I really had to change my whole life. I used to be able to work. I used to work in um, a very challenging field. I used to, we had to get credentialed and all this stuff, and it was very intense and all that. And I just like no longer was able to do anything. Like I got my degree in math, technically math for business, but math, and I literally can't even look at numbers anymore. Like they make me panic. So uh, there's mixed reviews on like whether people think that my concussion caused this, but like everything happened after my concussion, so it kind of the correlation fits. Doesn't necessarily mean causation, as we learn in math class, but um, that's really sweet. Thank you. Like I think good intentions are like pure good intentions are always welcome. I don't care how you do it. I will always appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad that I popped up on your for you page because honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing or Instagram. But thank you. I really appreciate it because I just try to come here with like honesty, friendship, camaraderie. I know a lot of people are going through similar situations as me. A lot of people are going through harder situations or maybe easier situations. But just because it's an easier situation by like technical comparison doesn't mean that it's easy, right? Like a lot of people are going through a lot of shit. And so for me, I just wanted to create a page where, like, one, I could just be myself. I didn't have to worry about putting on a mask and trying to perform for anyone. And then, honestly, like, just, I wanted to create a safe space where, like, anyone could just come be themselves. As long as you're not, like, a hateful bigot, in which case you can, get fucked. But, I mean, you probably need to, anyways, but. Okay. Um, but I really appreciate that. That's a very high compliment for me because I just try to be myself and try to be a good person. I'm a sour patch kid in the sense that like you know I I kind of think of myself as like a nasty bitch, but like I try to be a respectful nasty bitch. Like if you want the brunt of my bitchiness, I will give it to you. But if you're being cool, I'm gonna be cool. We're gonna have a good time, whatever. So I don't know. That's how I try to view it. But I really appreciate that. That is a very nice compliment. um, just organizing my desk. I would show you what my desk looks like, but it would really highlight the boob situation going on right now. Oh my gosh, that leather totally saw me. I was like cackling. I have this like my wife calls it a witch cackle. It totally is. And I just like I lose my ability to just like control my laughter. I'm just like, oh, but it's not quite like that, but it's similar. It's similar. And yeah, she was like, you just go full on witch cackle. I am what I am. And just so you know, if you're new here, I don't normally decorate like this. Usually it's all spooky Halloween stuff. I am like an elder goth, elder emo. I love Halloween. I celebrate Halloween all year round. It is not a day to me, it is a lifestyle. But I in December, I did, oh, that's so sweet, Winter. Thank you. Um, uh, I did a marathon called The Longest Day on the winter solstice, which was December 21st. Now I remember because it's the longest day. And so that's actually the shortest day. So the charity that I worked with was the Alzheimer's Association, and typically they do they do a big fundraiser where you can do whatever you want, but just as long as it's a fundraiser towards them. And but they do like a mini event, still called The Longest Day, but it's on the shortest day. But I wanted to do it because I've had family members um, pass or be strongly affected by Alzheimer's and dementia. I think a lot of us can relate to that. It's such a pervasive disease for, yeah. For me, I gotta like be careful about like expending all of my spoons and just fucking going for it. So I probably will clean other parts, but I kind of got into this like paralysis state where I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I asked my wife what to do, and she was like, I don't know. She was like, your questions overwhelm me. I gotta go to a meeting. So which I understand. Yeah, so we'll just do things as we can, right? We're gonna be patient with ourselves. We're gonna be kind to ourselves. Um, uh, Also, so I haven't mentioned this in a long time, since I started the page, but also I do life coaching. I'm not a licensed. Yep, go eat, nurture your body. Um, but I started, so like you don't have to be licensed to be a life coach. I would like to get that process started, but for me, as someone who's disabled, for me, it's really important to uh, promote access to more relaxed forms of mental health help. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not even a licensed life coach. Like I said, I would like to be a licensed life coach, but I have to pay for school and I don't have any money. I would pay for like a course or like course load. And also for me, because I'm disabled, I can't be like, I can't see like 20 people a week. Like, I probably will max out at 3. So it's like, is it worth it for me to be able to go through this program that costs like a couple $1,000 if I like will never recoup that money? Um, but I like to think I'm a pretty good listener. I've had a kind of crazy life, and I know a lot of people have had crazy lives, and so one of the things that I wanted to start doing in the new year is offering my life coaching for free. And some people warned me against this, other life coaches, because they were like, well, people won't value your time if they know that they can just, do it for free and you're not going to charge them or anything like that. But to me, like, I really want to focus on, so my big four, I think, is disabled folks, LGBTQ plus folks, uh, people of low or no income, and mentally ill folks. And the difference between a life coach and therapist is obviously a therapist can diagnose you with a condition. I cannot, will not. But I think it's more about, it's kind of like having a close friend who can give you like advice. And some people pay out the ass for this. Like, I think for like some people do like a group of sessions, and like, so some life coaches will charge like, they'll do, okay, it'll be 9 sessions, and it'll be uh $1,200 or something like that. I think that's a reasonable number for what other people do. For me, because I want to make it accessible, I really focus um, on making connections and strides with people. But I don't want to be inaccessible to people who are facing income struggles, which is largely in that community. And really, anyone in any marginalized community, like, I think that we're all kind of in this family of people who the system has just not really been made for us, and we do have a hard time navigating it. So even though I struggle with my own mental health, and I have my own mental health team of professionals, I sometimes I just, I rely really heavily on my friends to give me advice, help me get out of a hole, listen to me vent, all of that stuff. So if you are interested in any of my life coaching services, like I said, they are free. I just ask that you are committed to showing up when we have things scheduled. Um, but I have all my info in the description box below. I work primarily off of Facebook, but we can do it however you want. And we can just talk. If you just need someone who can listen, maybe give you a little bit of advice, I'll always ask what you're looking for in that moment. Because sometimes you just want to vent, you don't want advice. You're like, no, stop telling me what to do. Everyone's giving me advice. I'm tired of hearing it. I just need to get it out. And I could be that person. So if you're interested, feel free. Very friendly to literally any community. As long as you don't have hate in your heart coming into it, then we're solid. Um, so yeah, so I don't know why I felt like it was a good time to mention that, but if you're interested, please feel free to do that. It would be totally private between us. It wouldn't be like on YouTube or something weird like that. It would just be just us talking. So hit me up if you want. I do Facebook, and I also have an Instagram. The Instagram is, all of these words are separated by periods, and it is Ian period talks period and period listens. Um, so that is just an option. I don't pimp it out often because, I try to just spread positivity in the world that I'm living in, but some people need like a little bit more direct one-on-one contact. Um, I found when I was trying to charge people, like, I just like, all of my friends are poor. Like, I'm just gonna put it out there. I have very few friends who are financially stable. And so the people I was reaching out to and saying, like, hey, like, I'm available, but I'm charging, it'll still be a lower price than a lot of people charge, but I still have to charge you. A lot of people were like, I just don't have any money. And I was like, I fucking feel you. I don't have any money either. And so in the new year, I made a call to make things more affordable by being absolutely free. Um, and I think that would be really cool. But it's not for everyone. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I can't diagnose you with issues. Um, but I like to think that I'm a pretty good listener, and I try to be. I just try to kind of go with the flow and be supportive friend to you. That's my goal. So that's all I'll get into that. I really don't need to make a whole PSA about it, but it just kind of came up when I was like, hey, you like my vibe? Like, if you're vibing with me and you want to have like a one-on-one conversation, I'm not gonna charge you for that. I'll do it under like the guise of like not the guise, but like the position and the mindset of like, hey, we're not just friends talking. I'm actually trying to be coaching you, and that for me is really you know, if I had something like that maybe earlier, I might have not struggled with so many difficult decisions. So up to you. Anyway, okay, so for those of you, I'm gonna switch topics completely because I'm looking directly at my busted ass 48 pin Centro. I have a 40 pin Centro knitting machine that I bought off of Temu. I meant to buy the 48, but I accidentally bought the 40. Can't I can't make what I want with the 40 pin. I need a 48. So I need to return that like as soon as possible, but that means going to the UPS store, and I just hate going out. Like I have agoraphobia. It's really hard for me to get out. So, but I need to do that. But with my Centro machine, so if you know about the machines, you know part of the process and maintenance of taking care of them is that you have to take them apart every once in a while, clean, make sure like lint, uh, yarn fuzz, all that stuff isn't gunking up the system. It's a very mechanical process. So making sure that all the things are going well, and nothing looks wrong is really important. But I um, I used this one yarn on my Centro to make a hat a while ago, like while ago, like within the past couple of years. But ever since then, my Centro has not been the same. It'll be fine for like this much, and then like it starts dropping stitches and all this stuff. I can't find anything mechanically wrong with it. I've taken it apart, put it back together like 2-3 times. Can't figure out what to do with it, but I don't want to just like let an Addy King start with Centro. But yeah, I want an Addy King so bad, but poor, poor. And I don't mind the Centro 48. I do have an Addy Express and love that thing. Although I hate when you start working it, it's so like clicky and glitchy, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna break my machine. But then once you get past like row 3, it's fine. Or like 2 or 3, it's fine. But I don't mind the Centro 48 pin. I just used the yarn that kind of fucked it up. And I haven't been able to find a way to unfuck it up. So I was gonna try to sell it as a broken machine. And I know that there are people out there who are experts in fixing Centros or knitting machines. And so I tried to offer a price where I was like, well, at least I will be able to like start putting this towards getting a new machine. But also there are people, like what Centros 48 is probably like what 75 or $50 to $75 depending on the moment, right? And like so I know some people might be able to just like troubleshoot it and figure out the problem immediately. So I wanted to make sure like those people, I was charging them an adequate amount. Nope. I mean, not that I've seen. I mean, I could go in and look again, but I have tried so hard, and I have I've gone in and I've cleaned everything, and then I've tried to make it work. It doesn't work. I've gone in and added like this super lube O-ring silicone lubricant, which isn't supposed to break down plastic. It was recommended by another YouTuber. I've gone in with microfiber towels. I've used like a little bit of lube to like lube it up. Nothing is working. I have no idea how to fix it. So I would thought like maybe someone who specializes in these machines could like take it and use it. Um, but when I posted on like this knitting machine queens group that I'm in, they're like, you're charging a lot for something that like doesn't work. And I'm like, but I know that there are people who are good at this that will get basically a free machine out of this. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with it, but like I'm getting to the point where I'm just fucking tired of looking at it. It's not worked in so long. And so I'm thinking about just trashing it, but it feels like a waste. I'm not like I have hoarder tendencies, right? And so I'm like, well, what if like just like I tighten the screw like a little bit more, and then all of a sudden it works? I don't know, you know. So yeah, I do like that the Addies are more reliable. I like that they are, I like that they are much more stable on, the table that you're using. Whereas the Centro, the suction cups for me have been terrible. They don't fucking hold anything. And I've got to like hold my machine as I crank like this. So getting my yarn tension right is like super annoying. I hate the suction cups on the Centro. I had a Centro 22 pin garbage machine. I just tossed that in the trash. But when I bought it before I asked anyone how well it worked, and I had never seen anything good about it after I bought it. Everyone was like, this machine fucking sucks. And it does. It does suck. I don't know anyone who can like make things with it. It's so unreliable. So that's why I got the Addy Express. More affordable than the Addy King, but and like the thing is, I don't really sell many hats, so a 48 pin Addy or 46 pin, I don't remember, but like that, I have a hard time justifying because I don't make a lot of things with it that I would be able to sell. Um, if you have the Addy Express or any like 22 or 24 knitting machines are very fiddly. A lot of yarns get caught in them. Yeah, exactly. And I'm just not great at using knitting machines. I've tried to be better, but it just doesn't really work. Um, so I will say I do have a pattern for the smaller knitting machines that I'm pulling up. It's not really like the season right now. It's a Grinch that looks like it's mooning you. I had a really fun time making it. I learned a lot in the process. Um, I'm gonna share the link to my pattern if you want to, um, check it out. But no pressure. And again, it's not really the season because it's the Grinch and Christmas and stuff. Oh shit! I can't use the fucking chat. Ugh. Well, I'll do it eventually. Red Heart Comfort. Miles. So I got that. Yeah, they're so they're such intense um machines, and like all the stuff that has to go on inside the machine to create the knitting. And then I know people who are so good at it, they can do like Fair Isle and like can do like a bunch of color changes and like Graphigan. I guess not like Graphigan, but it's a hat. I don't know, graph hats. I don't know, whatever. But they can do like all of that color work, and I'm just like, I can barely fucking make like a solid color hat. I suck. But if you do go on my Etsy page, which is Ian's Weirdo Emporium, um, then there is a pattern. I can't share it right now, so sorry. But there is a pattern for a Grinch that is pulling his pants down and mooning you. I brushed out the green yarn so it looked like fur. Honestly, it's one of the most fun things I've ever made, even though making it was a struggle. You made pants? That is the fucking coolest thing. Yeah. I love that. My most recent triumph with knitting machines is being able to properly make panels, because before, like, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, and I tried and I tried and I tried and I could not do it. Um, on my Centro, I tried, but once I got my Addy Express, I was able to learn better how to do it, because they kept on being like, make sure it goes under this loop, and I was like, I fucking literally don't know which one you're talking. It made no sense to me. But since I've done that, it is so much better, so much easier, and I actually kind of like making panels now. The only thing is, I don't like that the counter can't keep up with the number of rows that you're doing. So I was going to try to make a pair of knitted knockers, which are like bra inserts for trans folks or drag performers or anyone who wants to put stuff in. Mastectomy folks that want to just like feel, like they have something there. Uh, but like it just is like it's so hard because the row counter doesn't keep up with the rows once you're doing the panel knitting. So I wish that was something they could do, but I guess I could just get like a row counter, but I suck at that. Especially because like I was gonna make basically like a parallelogram. I mapped it out. I was gonna make a parallelogram. I was gonna fold it in half because I didn't want any stuffing to show through. And then I was gonna make two triangles, um, and then kind of make like a rounded like breast shape. Um, so that was my idea, but then I was just like, fuck this. I hate adding and dropping stitches. This is really confusing for me. So I quit and I was like, I'm just gonna sew these. But I wanna make a modification to the knitted knockers pattern in general, because they were very round, and or like they're kind of like triangular a little bit in a sense, but the shape of a natural breast is like it's more of a teardrop that you get. So I want to sew something, and it's so hard for me to make something 3D into like a 2D pattern. Still working on braining that through, but I want to make more of like a teardrop so that they would have some cushion. If you have larger chests, you understand this, and if you've worn a bra, but like if you just did like a round bra insert at the fullest part of the breast, I hope I'm not grossing anyone out with this conversation. Um, but there would be a huge gap between where the cup is and where the strap is, because you just have that fullness in the fuller part of the breasts. So I wanted to create something that went up a little further so that it could have some padding, up here where a natural breast would have breast tissue, and make something more teardrop shaped. So that's what I'm working on. I got to get my sewing machine out, but I got to clean up all this mess and stuff. Also, this table is super wobbly, so sewing on it is a bit of a challenge, and I definitely don't think I could do it live, because, like, the sewing machine moves, and it's this whole process, and I just think that it would be like watching Cloverfield, but watching someone sew, which is boring and nauseating. Yeah, I would. Okay, so leather. I don't know if you were in the chat when I talked about it yesterday. I don't think you were, but I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, just ignore this. But if you are on Facebook and you want to join our Facebook group, there's a Facebook group that I created called Army of Weirdos. And there are a couple groups that have that name, but ours is the picture is a green rectangular pillow that says fuck, that I made a while ago. And we all post the things that we've made, and just have conversations. I'd like to post a lot of crochet and yarn tips. And we also kind of lift each other up, just have a good time. So if you are on Facebook and you want to join, It's in the description, but you can just search it. You have the exact pattern for crochet anyways. Are you talking about the knitted knockers or something else? Or the pants? I had a friend who wanted to get crocheted pants, but like we were looking at just the yarn costs, and we were looking on Black Friday, so everything's way cheaper, right? We were looking on knockers. Okay. Yeah, I know knitted knockers, like the brand has a crochet pattern as well. But again, like to me, I just don't love the shape of them. And I want to be able to produce them a little bit faster. Um, so I want to try to be able to sew them. Also, I want to modify that shape to be more of a teardrop than like a triangle or circular kind of pattern. Especially, so for me, one of the things that I try to do is I try to make my shop, and I try to look at the trans community specifically and queer community and try to look at what they need. And for me, like I want to make affordable options that literally a little bunny is. It's either a teardrop. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I have a pattern for a penis. um, that that is for like a smaller machine. But when I bought it, my old tiny Centro broke, and I was like, "Fuck this!" So I haven't made it yet. But that's why I was saying, like, if you have a lot of patterns, how do you store them? Like, how do you keep track of what you have and remember? Because I am such an out of sight, out of mind person that like it's very, very like I just forget that I bought it and I'm like pissed about it. Do you OMG for this intro? I thought maybe crochet. Um, Sorry, a little confused because I talk about a lot of shit and then I'm like, chat, what? Um, so, uh, so I don't have, I was gonna try to do the knitted knockers on the knitting machine, but like I said, I was gonna make like a parallelogram and then I was gonna make two triangles to kind of do like the bottom of the breast, but just like the adding and subtracting of stitches to make like a slant is very challenging for me mentally. And then I can't keep track of the number of rows. Again, could use a row counter. Um, but or I could just measure it and make sure it's close. But yeah, so I tried to do that on the knitting machine to see if I could do that a little faster, but it's just I don't even want to look at it. It's still on my machine literally right now. But also, so skin tone cottons has been something I've been very passionate about because um I make packers by hand, and I really wanted to expand my skin tone options, but a lot of what I use is Lily Sugar and Cream, and like their skin tone options, they have three colors, like literally three colors. They have cream, they have ecru, I don't know, and then warm brown. And there's a huge jump between the ecru, which is like really like my skin color, which I am very pale. So like let that be known. Like so they have that color, and then they have like a warm brown, like a chocolatey brown, and like there are so many people that are within that, like between those two. I was like, I hate this. So I made it my mission to start looking for cotton that one line that was you have a penis pattern that I was talking about. Yes, I do. Let me I can pull up the pattern and tell you where I got it from. Let's see. So let me look in my documents. I don't think that's it. Let me see. No, not a knotting machine. Knitting machine. Knitting machine Willie. Okay, you need a warmer pattern. I just do my warmers by hand because I started because Mombi, who's also here on YouTube, she makes them a lot. So what she does is she makes the scrotum part at the size of like a newborn hat, which the relating the two grosses me out, but whatever. So like she just does that, and then she just freehands like the packer part. So that's how I do my warmers as well. Okay, so this is called the Knitting Machine Willie, and all one word. This is by J Wiz Crochet on Etsy, and so it's JWHIZ or Z, depending on where you're from, and then crochet. And I got that off of Etsy, and it it looks. I mean, it looks really fun. So if you want to do that, then yeah. Also, I don't know if there are warmer patterns on YouTube, but that is definitely something I could do. I could put a warmer pattern up, and then mine would be more consistent because then I would refer to my pattern because mine are pretty inconsistent. um, This is on the Centro, or well, you could do it on the Centro in theory if your tiny Centro works. But I use an Addy. I haven't made this pattern, so I can't verify it, but it looks cool. Yeah. I love vaping. I love smoking cigarettes more, but I can't do that right now. Also, I've mixed the 3%, just like a drop or two of 3% with my 0%. 0%. So that I can still vape, but I'm not getting a lot of nicotine. I'm tapering off. YouTube glitch. Yeah, that happens. See if my shirt's still wet. The shirt is literally so dirty. Like, look at these stains. I don't wear white. I don't wear white. Let's see. So also I do have another channel where I post like hauls and tutorials. Um, um, about stuff. So if you want to go to my second channel, I post stuff there as well. Sometimes I'll stream on both channels at the same time, but generally I'm trying to get away from streaming on my second channel. But that's where I do like stitch tutorials. I haven't done it in a while. I haven't really done much. But I mean, it is fun to learn different stitches, ways you can apply them, stuff like that. When I went into treatment, we didn't have access to electronics regularly, so I couldn't film or do anything. So I focused on trying to be a better crocheter I got a book with a bunch of stitches in it. It's the Crochet Stitch Dictionary, which is somewhere. And but I also started posting my hauls there. It's a much smaller page, but I started it because uh, my YouTube channel here has not really grown any for a while, even though I posted a lot and stuff like that. It just kind of was a stalemate. So I was like, let me just kind of start over and shit. So I started posting there more. Cool, thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, so that's my second channel. But sometimes there's overlap. So let's see what I posted, because I have another video that I'm not sure if I posted. Okay, so I did post my therapy makeup yesterday on my main channel. And then let's see, I posted I think a yarn haul on my other channel, the Pride yarn haul. Yeah. So yeah, so that is what is going on with that. But yeah, so I can do my version of Willy Warmer. I know everyone's look a little bit different. For me, I like the way that mine turn out, because I feel like a lot of people, when they do it and they post a picture of it, it's very like 2D. And I just wonder if it's accommodating to certain sizes of people. Now, when I sell my Willy Warmers, sometimes I'll get requests of like certain sizes. Like I've had people order larger ones or smaller ones from secondhand store. I love secondhand yarn. It's so fun, but sometimes it has like a really gross smell, which is annoying. But I have a lot of. I was gonna go to the store yesterday and get some more yarn, and I have so much. The tags are like missing on most of them. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to organize it. So I was like, let me just figure out what the fuck I have first. I don't know his size. Yeah, I think like the scrotum part is pretty much the same for most people. Although like you can always think, you know, uh, you can change that if someone has different size. But really, like that's not like the main part. I think that people want to keep warm. Like that warmth is important, but I don't think that's necessarily like, the part for like the satisfying process of it. And then I need to see if I have a Willy Warmer around, because I don't know if I have any more right now. But yeah, so I can show you what I do, and if you want to adjust however you want. I have had some weird people, if you're gonna sell that item, be prepared for the occasional weirdo, and not like the fun kind of weirdo like this one. I've never ordered from AliExpress. I'm always like very tentative about these like fast places, because like the yarn balls seem so small. I'm like, what am I gonna make with this? And then I gotta order like 15 of them to make anything, even though I don't even make big things. But I don't want to like have to order again and stuff. Like Temu and stuff like that. Like they're like, oh, look at all this yarn, and then you realize the balls are this big, and you're like, the fuck do I do with that? But yeah, you will get weirdos sometimes. Like I had this one person who wanted it to be a specific length, and I was like, okay, like I can accommodate that. I was like, tell me the length, and they were like, can I send you a picture? And I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna get from a picture of your dick? I don't know what you think is gonna happen, but whatever you think is gonna happen, it's not gonna happen, and I'm not gonna accept any pictures. And so I gave him like multiple ways he could measure. I was like, if you have a flexible measuring tape, like this, then you can use that. or you can take a piece of string and you can get it the right length, and then you can use like a non-flexible tape measure or anything like that. But like this person was just not a, I think they just wanted to send a dick pic, which pass. So yeah, I can definitely do that. I make mine in this yarn. This is just a scrap I have when I frog my market bag that I'm making. But this is the yarn Mexicana. I know I could make it in other options, but for me, I like this yarn, and I didn't even think to like put it in other colors. And I don't have the patience to do other colors. Wow. Okay, I might have to check that out. I don't even know what milk cotton is. What's milk cotton? Um, That's pretty sweet. I like ice yarns, but I had a hard time finding a 4-weight cotton. Um, Even though sometimes I use 3-weight cotton. Um, right now, my supplier of skin tones is Hobie, and they have like an 8/8, which is a 3-weight yarn. It's acrylic. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, with my packers, I have to go acrylic or bamboo. With the knitted knockers, you also want to do acrylic or not acrylic, cotton or bamboo, just so it's breathable, it's comfortable for the body. So it's like you got to make sure it's like in like wearable condition, and yeah, so uh, I it's so soft, really. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I use primarily acrylic yarn for all my other projects, but I have to do cotton or bamboo, which I don't do bamboo. I've never tried it. I heard it splits really easily, which is annoying to me. But I also don't do bamboo because it's not available in a lot of skin colors. And so it's very limited color range, and it's way more expensive than cotton. I've heard it's very soft, but like if I can't get it affordably, I can't offer an affordable product. And to me, that's not the payoff isn't worth it. So I'd rather use cotton. But very interesting. I've never heard that term before, so thank you for educating me. Like for me, like I'm okay with dealing with the warmth and the uncomfortable, nature of acrylic wearables, because I know I made it and like I can get the colors I want. It's like using embroidery floss, so yes, it does split. Yeah. I made one pair of granny square embroidery floss earrings, and I was just like, fucking never again. And I also hate making granny squares, so that didn't help. Um, but yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so when I make wearables for myself, like especially like so the only time of year that I make wearables for myself previously has been Pride. You stitch with her. Oh my gosh, you are a true hero. Um, but uh, but so I have a cardigan that I have that is a split pride cardigan, I call it, where half of it is rainbow stripes and the other half is a variegated um, trans colored yarn, because I like to rep my pride in all forms and fashions. At this point, when I made it, they didn't have a pansexual um, yarn that I could find. Now they have it with the big twist, Pride yarn. I did a haul with that on my other channel. But they didn't have that at that point, so I did rainbow. Also, I just like the way the rainbow looks. It's nicer colors than the pan flag. Honestly, pan flag, those colors are so weird to me. I don't get it. But anyways, um, so I did that, and that is an acrylic. And even though it's oversized and it's a granny hexy cardigan, it's still hot as fuck. And Pride here in North Carolina and most states is in June, and so it's hot. it's the dead of summer, and it's just so miserably hot. So I'm dripping sweat, but I'm covered. So I'm like, it's fine. And then I also made booty shorts in a granny stitch pattern, and I got the pattern off of Etsy, but it was in a granny cluster pattern. But even though it had like so many half of its holes, right? And if you use a granny stitch, and your hook is big enough, there's still plenty of holes. But like, oh my gosh, it was so fucking hot. And the year before, I made board shorts in acrylic yarn. Swamp ass. um, so yeah, uh, I so for me, like, I'm willing to make that sacrifice, but I'm not gonna put anyone else through that. And it sucks because so much, like, the very few options we have for pride yarn other than rainbow yarn, are acrylic because it's cheaper. And so I would love to be able to find like a variegated, like, trans color or any other pride color other than rainbow, um, cotton yarn to be able to make stuff with, but I just cannot find it, and it's so frustrating. And I've thought about, like, should I just start dyeing my own cotton? But like, that's such a process, and like, you gotta have kind of like everything set up. And I'm just like, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't, I don't know. Like, I mean, is there like, would anyone else get that yarn? I don't know, but I don't know. So So yeah. So we've been on here 3 hours. It's been great talking to you all, especially getting to know you, Leather. It's been wonderful. So I think I'm gonna call it a day for right now, probably the rest of the day, because I'm kind of ready to eat, and I have a therapy session at 4. It is 2:30 right now, so just want to get in the mood for that as well. Um, so yeah, so we'll call it a day, but thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for helping me clean, just being there as emotional support tools, has been really great for me. Next time you see me, hopefully I won't be wearing a stained white shirt. But it's been great, and thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, Winter. Wait, no, sorry. I'm gonna escape out of this. Okay, so I'm gonna let you all go, but I'll talk to you later, and have a great day. I mean it. And I'll see you in Army of Weirdos or wherever I see you.